What did Zhao Lusi just reveal that has sent the entire Chinese entertainment industry into absolute pandemonium and forced everyone to completely recalibrate their understanding of one of the most speculated about celebrity pairings in recent memory? In a stunning press conference held at the Intercontinental Shanghai Wonderland on Tuesday morning that was supposed to be a routine announcement about her production company's upcoming projects, Zhao Lusi casually dropped what might be the most explosive revelation in Chinese entertainment history, confirming that Lu Yuning has been appointed as Chief Executive Officer of Lusi Entertainment Holdings, the multimedia production company she founded 3 years ago that has quietly become one of the most profitable independent entertainment ventures in China. The announcement itself would have been shocking enough given that Lu Yuning and Zhao Lusi have never publicly acknowledged any professional relationship whatsoever despite months of speculation about their personal connection. But what transformed this from mere business news into an absolute sensation was Zhao Lusi's emotional description of Lu Yuning's reaction to the appointment, revealing that he was moved to tears and overwhelmed with emotion when she offered him the position. Language that suggests a depth of feeling and significance that extends far beyond typical corporate appointments. The revelation has triggered an earthquake of speculation, analysis, and outright shock as millions of people attempt to process what this means about the nature of their relationship, about Lu Yuning's career trajectory, about Zhao Lusi's business acumen and her apparent willingness to entrust her commercial empire to someone she has never publicly admitted knowing well, and most explosively, about what must have been happening behind the scenes for months or even years while both maintained public silence about their connection. How does someone go from being a musician and actor with no acknowledged business background to becoming CEO of a multi-million yuan entertainment company? And why would that appointment move a grown man to tears unless there's a story here that's far more complex and emotionally charged than anyone could have imagined? Zhao Lusi's description of Lu Yuning's emotional response has become the focal point of obsessive analysis and speculation, with her exact words being dissected for hidden meanings and implications that might explain the intensity of the reaction she described. According to the transcript of her press conference remarks, Zhao Lusi stated that when she formally offered Lu Yuning the CEO position during a private meeting last month, he was initially speechless and then began crying, something she characterized as the most genuine emotional response I've ever witnessed from someone receiving a professional opportunity. She went on to describe how Lu Yuning struggled to compose himself, repeatedly expressing disbelief and gratitude while questioning whether he was truly qualified for such a significant role, a display of vulnerability and self-doubt that seems completely at odds with his carefully cultivated public persona as a confident entertainer who has successfully navigated one of the world's most competitive industries. The fact that Zhao Lusi felt comfortable sharing such intimate details about Lu Yuning's private emotional response has itself become a subject of intense discussion, with many questioning what level of intimacy and trust must exist between them for her to feel that revealing his tears and vulnerability was appropriate, rather than a violation of privacy that might embarrass or diminish him in the eyes of his fans and industry peers. But here's what nobody saw coming and what has transformed this from a surprising business appointment into an absolute bombshell that threatens to rewrite entertainment industry power structures. Zhao Lusi revealed that Lu Yuning hasn't just been appointed CEO, he's been secretly working in that capacity for the past 6 months, meaning that every major decision made by Lusi Entertainment Holdings during one of the most successful periods in the company's history was actually being directed by Lu Yuning, while the entire world remained completely oblivious to his involvement. This revelation has sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry as executives, investors, and competitors scramble to reassess their understanding of who has actually been making strategic decisions at a company they thought they understood, but clearly did not. Lusi Entertainment Holdings has been responsible for producing 3 of the most successful web dramas of the past 6 months, has negotiated groundbreaking distribution deals with major streaming platforms, and has expanded into talent management and music production in ways that industry observers had attributed to Zhao Lusi's business instincts and her management team's strategic vision, never suspecting that the driving force behind these successes might actually have been Lu Yuning, operating behind the scenes without any public acknowledgement or credit. The implications of this revelation are staggering, not just for understanding the relationship between Zhao Lusi and Lu Yuning, but for reassessing Lu Yuning's capabilities and ambitions in ways that completely contradict his public persona, as primarily a performer with limited interest in the business side of entertainment. The timeline that Zhao Lusi provided during her press conference has forced a complete reconsideration of numerous events and decisions from the past 6 months that suddenly take on entirely different meanings when understood through the lens of Lu Yuning's secret executive role. She revealed that Lu Yuning first approached her about wanting to learn the business side of entertainment approximately 8 months ago, expressing frustration with his lack of control over his own career trajectory, an interest in understanding how entertainment companies actually function at strategic and operational levels. What began as informal mentorship and advice gradually evolved into Lu Yuning taking on increasing responsibilities within Lusi Entertainment Holdings, initially handling specific projects and gradually expanding his role, until Zhao Lusi realized that he had essentially been functioning as her de facto chief operating officer despite having no official title or compensation beyond what she described as symbolic consulting fees that were insulting given the value he was providing. The decision to formalize his role as CEO came after what Zhao Lusi described as months of watching Lu Yuning prove himself through actual performance rather than credentials or experience, a meritocratic approach that she contrasted with the entertainment industry's typical emphasis on connections, educational pedigree, and prior experience in similar roles. The emotional component of Lu Yuning's reaction to being offered the CEO position has become the subject of particularly intense speculation and analysis, with various theories attempting to explain why this opportunity would trigger such a profound emotional response in someone who has already achieved significant success and recognition in his entertainment career. Zhao Lusi's description of his tears and his expressions of disbelief suggests that this appointment represents something far more significant to him than merely another career opportunity or professional advancement. Some observers have suggested that the emotional reaction reflects Lu Yuning's awareness of how unlikely and improbable his trajectory has been, from restaurant singer to mainstream entertainer to now chief executive of a major entertainment company, a journey that violates so many conventional assumptions about proper career progression that it might feel almost dreamlike or unreal, even to the person experiencing it. Others have proposed that the tears reflect the depth of his gratitude and emotional connection to Zhao Lusi for trusting him with her company and her professional legacy in ways that demonstrate a level of faith and confidence that he may never have experienced from others in the entertainment industry, who have often viewed his unconventional background with skepticism or condescension. The business implications of this appointment extend far beyond the personal dynamics between Zhao Lusi and Lu Yuning, touching on fundamental questions about corporate governance, fiduciary responsibility, and the wisdom of placing someone with limited formal business education or executive experience in charge of a company with significant assets and employees whose livelihoods depend on competent leadership. Lusi Entertainment Holdings is not a small startup that can afford to treat executive appointments as experiments or learning opportunities, but rather a substantial business entity with estimated annual revenues exceeding 200 million yuan, dozens of employees, complex contractual obligations with streaming platforms and production partners, and significant financial obligations to investors and creditors who have a legitimate interest in ensuring that the company is managed by qualified professionals. The fact that Lu Yuning has apparently been functioning successfully in this role for 6 months without anyone outside the immediate company realizing suggests either that he's actually quite competent at executive leadership despite lacking traditional qualifications, or that Zhao Lusi and other senior team members have been providing substantial behind-the-scenes support that has allowed him to succeed in ways he might not be able to sustain independently. The revelation about Lu Yuning's secret executive role has forced a complete reassessment of several business decisions that Lusi Entertainment Holdings made during the past 6 months that had previously been attributed to other executives or to Zhao Lusi herself. The company's controversial decision to pull out of a major co-production deal with a state-owned studio 3 months ago, a move that generated significant criticism and speculation about behind-the-scenes conflicts, is now understood to have been Lu Yuning's decision, based on his assessment that the creative compromises required by the partnership would damage the company's brand and artistic reputation in ways that would outweigh short-term financial benefits. Industry insiders who had speculated that this decision reflected Zhao Lusi's artistic priorities or advice from her senior management team now realize they were completely misreading the situation, that the driving force behind what turned out to be a prescient and ultimately beneficial decision was actually Lu Yuning operating without any public credit or acknowledgement for his strategic judgment.